Hey everybody. Today I want to talk about something that's a little different. I'm not really going to show a lot of highlights or anything, but I want to talk to you. I'm wondering if you guys have a forever piece of equipment, something that you just absolutely never sell. I had a Legend Rock and Roll 50, still do, that I got back in the early 90s. Looks like a Mesa Boogie with the wood oak frame and the wicker speaker cover. It's loud as hell, but it's pretty much a one-trick pony. It gets loud and it gets louder and it gets louder. Great for pedals, but it also weighs a ton. Anyway, I never thought much of the Princetons when I was younger. It was just a practice amp. Who cares about those things? I want a reverb. I want a deluxe. I want a pro. The bigger amps, the big stuff. This is just this, Fender, we got to do something small for a practice amp. So they made these things. It wasn't until much later in life, literally recently, that I realized how great the Princeton Reverb really is. So I should have picked one up 30 years ago when you could pick one up for a few $100s. Now they're $2,000 to $5,000 for a black face or earlier. So I bought a reissue. This is a special reissue. This is one of their limited editions. I believe it was Guitar Center or Musician's Friend, one of those. Bordeaux, Tolex with the wheat. And this one has the 12-inch Jensen El Nico in there. So it's a little bit lighter than a 10-inch, even though it's a 12, because it's got that El Nico magnet. Actually, some of the newer ones have the bigger ceramic magnets and they're heavier. This might be about the same weight as a standard Princeton. It's my forever amp, but I wanted something more. I always wanted a hand-wired. I wanted something that was durable, something that will really actually last me the rest of my life. So Jack Hazelwood in Atlanta, Georgia, I contacted him. And he completely guts reissues. Anything that style with the printed circuit board, Basemans, deluxe reissues, super reverbs, that sort of stuff. And any of the modern reissues that have printed circuit boards, he goes through and does hand wiring. This is a hand-wired Princeton in a modern case and chassis, with that fantastic 12-inch speaker. Besides the Chris Stapleton, which is a brown face that doesn't have the reverb and vibe together, this is right now probably one of the only 12-inch hand-wired Princetons around, besides the Stapletons. I should say blackface. Probably one of the only ones on the planet. This was the first one he did with the 12-inch. The sound, it's different, and don't say it's not, because it is. Not because it's hand-wired versus printed circuit board, because a circuit's a circuit, a circuit. I know, that's what he said. This one, he actually put the pre-CBS AA1164 circuit. So it's basically a 64 hand-wired, like coming out of the custom shop, but with a 12-inch. It is fantastic. It is now bulletproof, being hand-wired. If anything, all the pots are they're all CTS pots, all Switchcraft jacks in here. It is a work of art. I wish I could show you, but I don't have good editing software. The pictures of him disassembling everything, putting real pots in there versus the soldered in circuit board pots. The only thing that remains is the transformer and the tube sockets. Everything else was completely gutted and replaced with fantastic work. The sound is fantastic. I'm going to pop it on in a second. I keep saying fantastic, fantastic. It really is. He does do other work. As I said, if you have a deluxe reissue or anything like that, he will convert it over to hand wired. He's reasonably priced. About $400 to $500 depending on the amp. Okay, so the investment of $1,000 for a Princeton like this, to go another $400 to have something that's completely unique with a hand-wired boards and a circuit that they really don't offer in a 12-inch speaker, best money you can spend. I think it was just with tubes, because he put it in new tubes. I think it was about $375 to $400. He's been doing this for a while. He's been building amps for a while. He does his own boards. He does his own point-to-points. But this is circuit board, you know, not circuit board, but the standard boards that you would see with a hand wired. I'm going to turn it on. It's going to take a little bit to warm up. I will kind of play with the different sounds that this thing offers. Make sure I'm in tune, because I hate to do that. So I'm going to bring up the reverb to about 3, tremolo to about 3, intensity to about 4. It reacts to pick attack. I mean, I am on 1.5, and I can play dead quiet, or it'll get a little rough, even at that low volume. I'm going to bring it up to bass and treble. I've got the bass on 6. I'm going to go down to about 4 on the bass. I'm going to go up to about 5 on the treble. I'm going to go up to about 3.5. It is, again, my forever amp. Jack Hazelwood, Atlanta, Georgia. It is fantastic. And no, it's not available. I'll be keeping this one.